James, the beggar whom everyone on the bustling street was familiar with, lived a miserable life on an abandoned street corner. Every day, he would walk around the street area, collecting every penny to buy food while trying to make use of his meager earnings. Though he had become accustomed to a homeless, rootless life, James' mind was still filled with dreams of a better life. He longed for the day he could escape this wandering, impoverished life. One afternoon, as James was walking around his usual area, he suddenly noticed a car parked on the roadside, with smoke coming out of it. The driver, a strong-looking man, well-dressed, was standing there fiddling with his phone and looking frustrated. James approached closer and overheard the man making a call, explaining that his car had run out of gas but couldn't find any help. James looked into his pocket at the few coins he had left. He knew it was the money for his dinner tonight and that he shouldn't spend it. However, there was someone in need of help. James sighed, looked into the driver's face, and finally made up his mind. He stepped forward, stopped in front of the man, and politely said, "Excuse me, sir. I have a little money. I think it's enough for you to get some gas." The man was surprised and a bit hesitant, but he could not refuse. He took the money from James, thanked him, and said, "I truly appreciate this. My name is Elon Musk. I promise I will never forget this." James smiled gently, of course, not knowing who the man in front of him was. To him, it was just someone unlucky who needed help, just as he once needed and was helped. James' life wasn't always a series of wandering days on the streets. He once had a full, happy, and peaceful life. James used to have a family, a stable job, and a small house to return to after each workday. For him, life was once very good, full of hope and small joyful memories. But life took a cruel turn when he lost his job due to the economic downturn. The company downsized, and James was one of the first to be let go. Losing his job led to losing his home, as he could no longer pay the bills. Eventually, even his family fell apart. James became homeless, having to search for every penny to buy food and survive day by day. To him, society's luxurious avenues had pushed him into a dark world, where hope seemed like a tiny flicker barely holding on. Each day went by the same as the last, but James persisted through every moment. Though the streets were harsh, he never gave up on the dream of a better life. For James, compassion for others was one of the few remaining values he held dear. That was why he decided to help the man in trouble, a decision that would change his life. Elon Musk, who was used to a busy life filled with back-to-back meetings to run major tech projects, was accustomed to meeting partners and making decisions that impacted the entire world. However, the fateful encounter with James was different. Elon began to reflect on the way the beggar had helped him so wholeheartedly, even though James didn't know who he was and expected nothing in return. Elon Musk recalled his own childhood days, when he too faced many challenges. His time in South Africa taught him many lessons about perseverance and an indomitable spirit. Elon realized that sometimes an act of compassion could change a person's life. With that thought, Elon Musk decided to do something to help James escape his homeless and destitute life. He not only wanted to repay James for the money he received, but also wanted to give him an opportunity to change his life. Determined to help James, Elon Musk began the search in the street area where he had met James. He enlisted his team to assist in locating and approaching James. However, James was homeless, constantly changing his location. The search was not easy. Elon Musk returned to that street many times, but he saw no trace of James. He even put out some calls through media channels, hoping someone could help him find the man who had helped him. However, this seemed to drive James further into the shadows, making him even harder to find. As for James, he continued his homeless life, sleeping on sidewalks and searching for food to get by. He had no idea that the man was searching for him. To James, that encounter was just a forgettable coincidence, and he didn't expect anything in return for his compassion. The search lasted for weeks. Elon Musk refused to give up. understanding that if someone as kind as James had to live in hardship, it was a significant loss to society. Every afternoon after work, he dedicated time to searching for James, hoping that one day he would find him again. After weeks of unsuccessful searching, Elon Musk still did not give up hope. One afternoon, as he was walking through the familiar neighborhood, Elon saw a familiar figure huddled in a street corner. It was James. Elon's heart raced, and he quickly walked over and called his name. James looked up, surprised to see the man he had helped. Elon Musk, James muttered, astonished at the presence of this man. Elon smiled, knelt down, and gently said, "I promised you I would not forget you. I've come to repay you, James." James couldn't believe his ears and still didn't fully understand what was happening. Elon Musk invited James to have dinner at a nearby restaurant, where they could sit down and talk comfortably. James hesitated, but the sincerity in Elon's eyes made it impossible for him to refuse. In the luxurious restaurant, James felt confused and uncomfortable with the opulence he had never experienced before. Elon Musk noticed this and tried to make James feel more at ease by sharing stories about his own life. He talked about the hardships he had gone through, the days when he struggled before becoming the billionaire he is today. James listened, feeling touched by Elon's words. He realized that, despite being a billionaire, Elon had also faced difficult times. Just like him, this made James feel closer and more confident in conversing with Elon. After the meal, Elon Musk offered to help James get off the streets. He wanted to give him a chance to start over. James was confused. He wasn't sure if he deserved this help, but the sincerity in Elon's eyes made James decide to give it a try. Elon Musk arranged a simple job at SpaceX for James, a position that didn't require specialized skills but needed dedication and enthusiasm. Elon wanted James to have an opportunity to start over, and he believed that a good work environment would help James regain his faith in life. On his first day at SpaceX, James felt extremely nervous. He never thought he would have the chance to work at such a major company. However, the employees there were all very friendly and willing to help him. They didn't judge James for his past. Instead, they respected him for his resilience and kindness. James began learning how to do simple tasks, from cleaning to supporting logistics work. He worked hard, always giving his best to complete every assignment. James' dedication not only helped him keep his job, but also made people at the company start to notice and respect him more. As time passed, James gradually adapted to his job and new environment. He began to feel more confident and no longer felt the insecurity he once had. Elon Musk occasionally visited James, always encouraging and motivating him. Elon's care was not only an act of repayment but also a belief in James' potential. James also gradually saved a small amount of money from his salary. He was able to rent a small room to live in instead of sleeping on the sidewalk as before. This made him feel that his life was changing for the better, and he began to believe that the future could be brighter. One day, Elon Musk invited James to attend a small meeting with some of the SpaceX employees. During the meeting, Elon shared James' story about his kindness and how a small act could change a person's life. The SpaceX employees were all moved by James' story and looked at him with respect. James felt emotional and proud. He realized that life was not just about surviving, but also about making a difference, even if it was small. And from that moment, James knew he had found a new purpose in his life. After months of working at SpaceX, James began to realize that he was not just existing, but truly living. He had become part of a team, with duties and responsibilities. The job at SpaceX was not only an opportunity for a better life, but also helped James regain the pride and confidence he had long lost. Every morning when he woke up, he no longer felt uncertainty about his life. Instead, he felt excitement at being able to contribute, even if it was through small tasks. Elon Musk frequently visited James, sometimes bringing him to small group discussions so James could learn and interact with other employees. With Elon's guidance and support, James became more proficient in his work and more confident with the new skills he learned. Elon often shared valuable stories and experiences about life and work with James, helping him develop a new perspective on the value of life. Gradually, James made more meaningful contributions to SpaceX. He started learning about production processes and assisting technicians in simple stages. James was no longer just an assistant cleaner. He became an active member supporting the team. Seeing his progress, James felt proud and even more motivated to keep striving. After James had proven his effort and determination, Elon Musk decided to give him a bigger opportunity. He offered James the chance to participate in a short-term technical training course organized by the company, where James could learn more about basic technical work. At first, James felt nervous because he had never had any experience in this field. But with Elon's encouragement and the support of his colleagues, he decided to give it a try. The training course lasted for several months, and it was a challenging period for James. He had to learn how to use technical tools, get familiar with new concepts, and constantly face difficult tests. But James did not give up. He spent time after work reviewing, asking colleagues, and practicing until he became proficient. James' tireless efforts paid off when he completed the training course with outstanding results. After completing the training, James was given new tasks at SpaceX that required more advanced skills and knowledge. He was no longer just doing supporting tasks but was actually involved in the company's basic technical projects. These advancements not only helped James develop himself but also made him feel that he truly had value and could contribute to the company. One day, Elon Musk held an all-staff meeting to share the achievements that the company had accomplished recently. During this meeting, Elon called James up to the stage. He recounted the story of how James had helped him in a time of need, and the incredible transformation of James from a homeless beggar to a proud employee of SpaceX. Elon said, "James is not only a testament to perseverance and kindness, but also a symbol of the ability of people to change their lives when given the opportunity and when they refuse to give up. James has shown us that it doesn't matter where you come from. What matters is how far you're willing to go." The entire hall erupted in loud applause. James could not hide his emotions. Tears rolled down his cheeks. He never imagined that he could stand in front of hundreds of people and be honored like this. The praise from Elon and the recognition from his colleagues were a tremendous source of motivation for James. He felt grateful for life and for all those who had believed in and supported him. After that meeting, James' story spread throughout SpaceX and even to the media. People knew him as a living testament to perseverance and kindness. James became an inspiration to others, not just within the company but also to many people in society. He began participating in volunteer programs organized by the company, sharing his story with those in need and young people seeking direction. James was also invited by Elon Musk to speak at some sessions for new employees at SpaceX. During these talks, James shared his journey, from being homeless to achieving a stable life and becoming part of SpaceX. He spoke about the hardships, moments that seemed insurmountable, and the valuable lessons he learned from kindness and persistence. Not content with just inspiring others, James wanted to help other homeless individuals, just as he once was. With Elon Musk's support, James began planning to establish a nonprofit organization to help the homeless find job opportunities and have a safe place to stay. He wanted to use his story to bring hope to others, to show them that they, too, could change their lives if they didn't give up and had someone who believed in them. James' career at SpaceX continued to advance. He kept learning and striving to become a true technician. At the same time, he did not forget his responsibility to the community and those less fortunate. James understood that success wasn't just about rising up himself but also about helping others move forward. James had found a new purpose in life. He worked not just for himself but for those who believed in him and for those in need of help. James' story is a vivid testament to human strength, showing that with kindness and perseverance, anyone can change their fate. After establishing the nonprofit organization to help the homeless, James began to realize that this work was far more challenging than he had imagined. The homeless didn't just need shelter or a job, they also needed emotional support. someone to listen to and understand them. James started organizing meetings where the homeless could share their stories, the hardships they had been through, and their dreams for the future. A major challenge James faced was the lack of funding. Although Elon Musk had helped him a lot, James needed additional community support to keep the organization running. He began seeking other benefactors, convincing them to invest in the organization. James met with many business people, attended seminars, and even spoke at schools to call for help. Sometimes, he was rejected and faced many difficulties, but James never gave up. He believed that if he could change his own life, then others could do it too. Thanks to James' persistence and tireless efforts, his nonprofit organization began making significant progress. More and more homeless individuals came to the organization for help. Some found stable jobs and began new lives. James felt extremely happy seeing these positive changes in their lives, and it also gave him more motivation to continue his work. James not only focused on providing shelter and jobs for the homeless but also started organizing soft skills training, such as how to write a resume, how to interview for a job, and even how to manage personal finances. He wanted to ensure that those who had once been homeless would have the skills they needed to maintain their new lives and never have to return to the streets. James' efforts were recognized not only in the community but also internationally. His story became known to many other charitable organizations, and they reached out to James to learn from his model. James did not keep his knowledge to himself. He was always willing to share, hoping that more people would be helped. James continued to grow as he built and ran the nonprofit organization. He learned how to manage, lead, and work with people. The skills he learned at SpaceX had now become valuable assets that helped him run the organization effectively. He began developing long-term support programs for the homeless, not only helping them find jobs but also helping them rebuild their confidence and self-esteem. Elon Musk continued to follow and support James. He contributed financially and often visited the organization, talking with the homeless and sharing his experiences. Elon felt proud of what James had achieved, and he always believed that James could do even more. One day, during a meeting with the organization's team, James said, "We are not just helping the homeless. We are giving them hope. Each of them can change their lives, just like I did, and I believe we can do it together." James' words inspired everyone on the team, and they became even more determined to continue their work. James' story and his contributions to the homeless community attracted the attention of local authorities. One day, James received an invitation from the city mayor. The mayor wanted to honor James and his organization for their contributions to the community. James was invited to a formal ceremony at City Hall, where he was awarded a medal for his dedication. At the ceremony, the mayor said, "James has shown us that kindness and perseverance can change not only one person's life, but also an entire community. His efforts have brought hope to many people and have made our city a better place." These words made James feel emotional and proud. He realized that all the hardships he had gone through were worth it, and that he was not alone on this journey. James stood before everyone and spoke with a voice full of emotion. "I was once homeless, but thanks to the kindness of others and the opportunities one was given, I was able to change my life. I hope that we will continue to bring such opportunities to others, so that no one has to go through what I went through." Applause erupted, and James felt filled with hope and motivation to continue the path he had chosen. After the ceremony, James returned to the organization, bringing with him a sense of pride and strong faith in the future. He knew there was still a lot of work to be done, but he was not afraid of the challenges. With the support of the community, Elon Musk, and all those who believed in him, James was determined to continue dedicating himself to changing the lives of the homeless, bringing hope to them and to the entire community. The initial success of the organization motivated James and his team to continue expanding their operations. James realized that to help more people, he needed to establish new branches in different areas. He began seeking new sponsors, partnering with other charitable organizations, and reaching out to businesspeople who shared the same vision. James didn't stop at providing shelter and jobs for the homeless. He wanted to create an ecosystem where the homeless could learn and grow. He established vocational training centers where people could learn skills ranging from technical trades and crafts to cooking and the arts. He wanted everyone to have the opportunity to find their passion and develop themselves. Expanding the organization required a lot of effort, both financially and in terms of human resources. However, James never felt alone on this journey. He had strong support from the community, from Elon Musk, and from those who had received help from the organization. Many of them, after stabilizing their lives, returned and became volunteers, willing to help others just as they had once been helped. James' influence didn't stop at the national level. It spread internationally. One day, James received an invitation to attend an international charity conference in Geneva. This was an opportunity for James to share his organization's model and his experiences with charitable organizations around the world. James felt very honored and knew that this was a great chance to build new relationships and learn from others. At the conference, James had the opportunity to meet with charity leaders who had spent their entire lives helping others. He also shared his story, from his days as a homeless person to becoming the founder and operator of a successful nonprofit organization. His story made a strong impression on the attendees and inspired them. Many international organizations reached out to James after the conference, expressing their desire to collaborate and learn from his model. James understood that this was a major opportunity to further expand his mission. He decided to start collaborative projects with international organizations to provide support not only domestically but also in other countries where homelessness remained a serious issue. The following years witnessed the remarkable growth of the organization founded by James. From a small organization, it now had multiple branches across the country and even in some other countries. James felt proud to see thousands of homeless people finding stable housing and new jobs. He knew that his efforts had brought hope to many people. James also never forgot those who had been with him since the very beginning. He always considered his team as his second family and knew that without them, the organization could not have achieved the success it had today. James frequently organized gatherings where everyone could share their experiences and come up with new ways to help the community. One day, during a meeting with those who had been helped by the organization, James realized something special. It was the change in their eyes. The eyes of people who had once lost all hope now shone with confidence and hope for the future. This moved James deeply, making him realize that what he was doing was truly right and meaningful. Despite achieving so much success, James knew that his journey was far from over. He understood that homelessness and lack of opportunity remained major challenges for society, and he was determined to continue contributing until no one had to live on the streets anymore. He spent most of his time planning new projects, improving existing programs, and seeking strategic partners to expand the impact. Elon Musk remained a friend, mentor, and a major source of inspiration for James. The two met frequently, discussing new ideas and finding ways to improve the lives of the less fortunate. Elon also supported James in applying technology to manage the organization and provide services to the homeless, helping the organization operate more efficiently and reach more people. James also began focusing on educating the community about homelessness, with the goal of changing how people perceive the less fortunate. He organized workshops, participated in television programs, and wrote books to share his experiences and lessons. James believed that when the community understood the difficulties faced by the homeless, they would be more willing to help and provide opportunities for these individuals to change their lives. James' journey was one of compassion, perseverance, and faith in humanity. From a homeless beggar, James became an inspiration, a leader, and a friend to the less fortunate. He proved that, with kindness and persistence, anyone could change their destiny and the lives of those around them, and that journey would continue. James knew that many people still needed help, and he would not rest until every homeless person had a place to call home, a job to be proud of, and a life worth living. With the support of the community and people like Elon Musk, James believed that day was not far away.